Hello, everybody. All right, welcome to the Mikestand. I hope everybody's having a good week as we're winding down, of course. So today is Thursday, October the 17th, 2024. If you haven't already, if you guys can help out by liking and sharing this stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here to engage, that'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. I'll try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. With all that being said, of course, let me do this real quick. We'll just give people a chance to come in a moment. So we'll give people a chance to come in here in a moment here. With that being said, let's see now. So of course tomorrow will be our weekly look back at comic history. But tonight, as we wait, as I said, we're gonna wait another minute or so before we get started. And then I'll talk about once we hit the 3 minute mark. I'll talk about what's on tap for tonight. Let's see. Casper, the friendly ghost, the friendliest ghost you know. He romps and plays, sings and dances all day. Friendliest ghost you'll see. And he's really glad to meet you wherever he will go. He's always glad to meet you. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. Strong to the finish when I eat my spin. Popeye the Sailor Man. And one more reminder before we get going here, of course. If you haven't already, if you guys can help out by liking and sharing the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here to engage, that'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions, and I'll try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. With all that being said, let's talk about what's on tap for tonight. So tonight is our look at gonna look over to Bleeding Fool, Chris Bray's article on the latest in terms of projects coming out. The Indie Comic Showcase, we're going to be taking a look at that article. Of course, and we'll, towards the end, have, of course, the wrestling wrap-up as well as the This Day Meets History segments. So with all that being said, why don't we go ahead and get started. So let me just do one more thing here. All right. So, anyways, let me go ahead and go grab the thing here. All right, wrong thing. Actually, that's what we want. All right. So there we go. Indie Comics Showcase number 286, Ariana Trench, Voluntarist 2, and Alphatron. Article by Chris Braley, published yesterday. So let's get into this then. Let's see. Welcome back to another installment of Indie Comics Showcase, the weekly blog, where we signal boost a few truly independent comics that are currently crowdfunding their projects, crowdsourcing their funding in some way, or just completely self-publishing on their own. Every little bit of support for these creators matters, from a single dollar pledge to the $25 bundle, and of course, the higher tiers are usually fun too. Even if you can't back a campaign or buy a book, you can share or tweet about these projects to your friends and followers. On Indie Comic Showcase, we interview the creators, show off some art, and tell you how you can check out the product for yourself. Below, we have some outstanding crowdfunding campaigns this week for you to learn about, enjoy, and hopefully support by backing one or more of them. Thanks for checking these out and for being the best part of Indie Comic Showcase. Let's jump in. Alphatron Origins by Jerry McClellan Sr. Let's see if anybody. All right. Alrighty then. So with that. Alright, so first off, before we get into the article here, let's go grab the link here. And there's a Fund My Comic project, of course. Alphatron Origins by Jerry McClellan Sr. So let me put that in there. So there's a link to the site if you guys want to go check that out. All right. Alphatron Origins by Jerry McClellan Sr. Chris Braley. Welcome to Indie Comic Showcase, Jerry. Hit me with your elevator pitch for Alphatron Origins. Jerry McClellan Sr. In a galaxy torn by conflict, the planet Alluvium stands against the menacing Ultradian Legion, with its fate resting in the hands of the Silver Six, an elite group of undercover warriors backed by the advanced science of Enzatech. Amidst the chaos, a young farmhand named Gabriel, yearning for adventure, unlocks hidden powers that thrust him into the heart of the battle. Now he must rise to become the legendary hero Alphatron and tip the scales in the fight for peace and freedom across the United Planetary Systems. Let's see. Chris, what's the origin story for this project? Jerry? The idea for Super Galactic Fantastic Dimension came from my lifelong love of music from the likes of Earth, Wind, and Fire, as well as science fiction, action adventure, and fantasy stories that inspired me while growing up. Shows like Super Friends, which, of course, is one of my favorites, my personal favorites. Um, Thundercats and Transformers, again, shows I grew up with as well as iconic films like Star Wars and Indiana Jones, set fire to my imagination and inspired my passion for storytelling. Creating this comic was my way of paying homage to those great stories and sharing that same sense of adventure and heroism with a new generation that seems to be inundated with the deconstruction of heroes rather than the celebration of them. I hope to be a part of changing that. Let's see. Chris, what led to your decision to self-publish and crowdfund the book? Um, Jerry, I decided to self-publish because I wanted full creative control to shape the story and characters in the way that stays true to my vision. The entertainment landscape has evolved where barriers of entry are now removed for most, thanks in large part to social media and technology. Self-publishing allows me to directly connect with fans and to build a community and ensure that Super Galactic Fantastic Dimension is crafted with the same passion and integrity that inspired its creation. Chris, who is this comic aimed at? Um, Jerry? Super Galactic Fantastic Dimension is perfect for readers who love epic space adventure, action packed battles, and stories of true heroism. It's aimed at fans of classic superhero tales, sci fi enthusiasts, and anyone who enjoys character driven narratives about courage, friendship, and fighting for what's right. For those who love the hero's journey set against an epic backdrop of space, this comic series is suitable for all ages. Um, whether you're a longtime comic book reader or new to the comics altogether, Chris, tell me a little bit about your creative process and how you like to work. Jerry, my creative process is pretty informal and fueled by inspiration from a great story or a bad one, and even music, Earth, Wind, and Fire in particular have been a big influence on um, SFGD, which I believe is Super Galactic Fortress Dimension, um, and the character Alphatron. I often have their music on repeat when I'm brainstorming and writing. Every story for me starts with a character idea, and when a character idea clicks for me, I start bringing it to life visually using tools like Photoshop, Blender, and Dodge 3D. I write down ideas as they come, incorporate them where they fit best. Once I have a solid concept and rough character synopsis, I dive into the story, just letting my thoughts flow onto the page without worrying about structure. After a few rewrites, I shape it into a screenplay format, since I naturally visualize stories as movies rather than individual comic panels. Once I'm happy with the draft, I send it to the artist and we discuss how to bring each scene to life visually. Thankfully, the artist I work with has no problem interpreting my stories from a screenplay format to a comics panel format. It's a collaborative process that evolves as we go, but that's what makes it exciting. And here's some of it now. Chris then asked, tell me about your unique creative team. Jerry, I started out developing most of the characters and story concepts on my own. But eventually I brought in my oldest son, Jerry Jr. He's an incredible writer and has really helped take the story to the next level, bringing fresh ideas and new perspectives to the table. We've been able to develop so many more stories working together. What's your production workflow like? Chris asks, and Jerry answers. Since we're working in a screenplay format, we already have several episodes written, and two of them are fully edited and ready to go to the artist for production. Episode 1, which is issue number 1, already has 5 pages completed by the artist, and we're estimating it to be around 50 pages in total. We expect to finish issue number 1 in about 6 months, but we're allowing up to a year to account for edits, mistakes, and any unexpected setbacks. Chris, what have you been learning from self-publishing through this process? Jerry, there's so much I've learned, but one of the biggest takeaways has been the importance of connecting with other indie creators. I wish I had understood this before producing my first book years ago. Building those relationships has been invaluable. They've provided encouragement, advice, and support in so many areas. The indie comics community, writers, artists, and fans, is incredibly welcoming, and I'm grateful for the connections I've made so far. I'm excited to keep building more relationships and hopefully collaborating with even more talented creators in the future. Before we let me just check and see if anybody's saying anything. Got any? Hmm. Chris, can you share your plans beyond this book? Where is this headed? Jerry, the plan is to produce a series with Alphatron Origins. I know there is 3 issues for sure, but there could be more, even more story beyond that. We also plan on producing another series called Alphatron Adventures, which focuses on our heroes' adventures throughout the galaxy. Um, these will be more standalone stories. There is also a rough draft for a Big Russ and the Silver Six story. I am also working on a Lovecraftian story. It takes place within the supergalactic fantastic dimension, but not directly related to our main cast of characters. Beyond the books, I do have a goal of producing an animated movie or series based on our characters. If all goes well and we are able to exceed our funding goals, we will produce a 1 minute animated pilot. All right, so Kristen asks, anything else you want to share with our readers before we wrap? And then Jerry goes, thanks so much for the opportunity to be interviewed, and big thanks to everyone who took the time to read it. We're working hard to create something fresh, exciting, and I truly hope you enjoy what we have to offer. Be sure to catch our live stream every Saturday at 10:30 a.m. on YouTube and X, where we dive into everything from entertainment and comics to writing and more. We'd love to have you join the conversation. Our crowdfunding campaign is live at fundmycomic.com, and we appreciate any support you can give. And then Chris says, looks great, Jerry. Thanks for sharing it with us. All right, so there we go with that one. Now we're going to see Voluntarist Suit Saga 2 by Jack Lloyd. All right, so I got to go grab the, gotta of course go grab the link. Let me just see how much time we got here. This one's also a Fund My Comic project. Terrorist Suit Saga 2. Voluntarist Suit Saga 2. So and there's that one. It was also over on Fund My Comic. If you guys want to go check that out. All right. So, anyways, let's get into this article now, or this portion of the article, anyways. So, Voluntarist Suit Saga 2 by Jack Lloyd. All right. So, Chris Braley, welcome back to Indie Comic Showcase, Jack. Get the get the uninitiated readers caught up on voluntarist suit saga. Jack Lloyd. Voluntarist is the tale of a superhuman hero who finds himself pitted against the government as the government tries to enslave humanity once and for all. He is a young man with extraordinary powers, created through a chance encounter with cosmic radiation. A la the Fantastic Four, right? His personal mission is to rescue his parents from government agents, but that objective is often frustrated with the likes of giant monsters, supervillains, and even the deep state. Kristen asks, where did the idea for the comic come from? Jack, Voluntarist was created by Liberty fanatic and producer Jack L., whose passion for liberty is only matched by his passion for memes and film production. He began the long process of creating the series while trudging through his graduate studies. His wife, Fo, acts as editor and can often be seen in cosplay cameos. The Voluntarist comic series was in a prototyping process for 6 years and just completed the Origins arc with a successfully funded 192-page trade paperback. The script for this new arc has been written, and we're building out even more of the Voluntarist universe in the Suit Saga arc. So basically, this looks like it's going to be more of a series here. It looks like, from the looks of it, something for people to look forward to. Let's see. Chris, what kind of comic readers is this suited for? Um, Jack, this comic is suited for teens and up, and is aimed at those who want a superhero genre story with a theme of individual liberty. Chris, what's been your creative approach to the book like? And if it's not complete, how far along is the book? Jack, I developed my style and creative process through trial and error. I learned by playing around in Photoshop to do some initial graphic work, um, and then worked with outside help to create the comic. The comic is almost complete as we're just finalizing the last few lettered pages. Chris, what have you been learning from self-publishing, crowdfunding, and creating through this process? Jack, I have been learning. I've been learning how to better ship products using a Rollo printer and pirate ship. I guess that's him and his wife right there. Let's see, Chris. Are there more voluntarist adventures you plan to tell? Jack, yes. The Suit Saga will continue with several more issues, and the voluntarist universe is ever expanding. Chris, any special features on the crowdfunding campaign you want to mention? Jack, there is a special holofoil cover variant created by legendary Rippaverse artist Igor Chaco Teixeira. Chris, nice. Um, Anything else you'd like to share with our readers? Jack, readers can learn more about the Voluntarius universe at volcomic.com. Chris, awesome. Good luck, Jack. All right, so there we go with that one. I guess maybe I'll go grab that link as well. If you should want to go check out more about Jack's universe there. Here you go. There you go as well. So now with that being said, now it's time, of course, to get on to the third entry here. Ariana Trench, the Treasure Man's Cave by Akim Ovihon. All right. Let's go grab the link here. And 3 for 3 on my comic. 3 for 3. All right. And again, a friendly reminder to you guys, if you haven't already, if you guys can help out by liking and sharing the stream, see if we get some more friendly people in here to engage. I'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. I'll try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. So let's go ahead and I got that part up for me. And there you go, right there with that. All right, so let's get into this then. Ariana Trench, Treasure Man's Cave by Akim Ovihon. Chris Braley. Welcome to Indie Comic Showcase, Akim. Tell us what your comic Ariana Trench is all about. Akim Ovihon. The story takes place in Libertalia, a hidden pirate colony on the island of Madagascar. A treasure hunting expert, Ariana Trench, has been recruited by a shady pirate captain, Hector Azúcar, who promises her a share of the treasure she must retrieve from the Treasure Man's Cave. which is littered with the world's most dangerous booby traps. Um, the unique part about this comic is that it is made to give the readers the feeling as if they are playing a video game. The 50-page comic book will be illustrated in beautiful pixel art graphics and have creative puzzle solving segments integrated into the story. It's a comic book that readers of all ages can enjoy, though it may also attract fans of pixel art pirates and even tabletop games. So really spreading a wide net there in terms of the fan base. Let me see. All right. All right. Continuing on here. Chris, where did the idea for this comic come from and led you to decide to self-publish it? Akeem, I'm a huge fan of classic point-and-click adventure games such as the Monkey Island series because I love how the game offers an engaging um, story and puzzle solving segments for the player to solve. Another series in recent years that has perfected this balance of storytelling, puzzle solving was the Professor Layton series. Um, I thought it'd be cool if this genre could somehow be converted into a comic book so that it could reach a broader audience and add something new to the comic book industry. Other authors have attempted this in the past, but for the most part, they were one and done projects and didn't fully capture what I envisioned. I considered reaching out to publishers, but since this is not a traditional comic book, I had a hard time selling them on the idea, which is what led me to self-publish. Yeah, a novelty act is always hard to market because people aren't sure exactly what you're marketing to. Hmm. Hmm. All right, as we continue on with the article here. So Kristen asks, tell me a little about your history with creating comics. Um, Akeem, I've been writing stories ever since I was in elementary school, but I never really had the art skills to fully illustrate the stories I've been envisioning. Aside from storytelling, I am also good at designing logical puzzles and riddles. Interesting combination of tools to have for a comic book creator. I have published 3 puzzle adventure books in the past, but none of them possess the stories that I wanted to tell, due to them being not being fully illustrated. Finally, these issues have been solved thanks to the artist I'm collaborating with. Let's see. So Kristen asked who your creative team for this project. So Who is your creative team? I think is what he meant to say. Who is your creative team for this project? Akeem, the artist I'm collaborating with, Lana Wanderwood, um, is very good at what she does and quickly understood the type of comic I was trying to create. With a page of dialogue, she can visualize and illustrate an entire scene in ways that exceed how I initially thought the scene would look. Yeah, that does look like kind of like old game style. Chris, what have you been learning from self publishing through this process? Hakeem, I'd say that marketing the book was a challenge. I see the fun that could be had with this kind of book. However, since it's not traditional, um, not everyone understands what it is. Some people thought it was a video game due to the pixel art illustrations, but that was just a creative choice. And my future comics will have a variety of art styles. Other people thought the comic was an activity book because I used to advertise it as a puzzle book and puzzle adventure book. This is the last thing I would want people to think the book is, which is why I am now marketing it as an interactive adventure comic, at least until I find something more suitable. Chris, are there more Ariana Trench stories you hope to tell? Hakeem, yes, I already designed Ariana Trench to be a series, as well as other unrelated comic books of the same niche that I have planned. So it sounds like he's planning a full universe here. It sounds like this is a niche of comic books that I intend to popularize and dominate. Dude's ambitious, isn't he? Chris, it looks good. Anything else you'd like to share with our readers before we sign off this week? Akeem, the genre of comics may seem a bit obscure to some people, but I believe it is a new frontier in the comic book industry. Even if some people don't back the project, I encourage people to follow our social media and watch um, what we do with the genre. Chris, thanks, and good luck. That's it for this installment. If you're a creator ramping up your own campaign or have a comic available for purchase online and you want to be featured in our weekly column, click here. And follow Indie Comics Showcase on Twitter at Indie Comics and reach out to them for more eyes on your crowdfunding comic project. Until next time, support Indie Comics. All right, so there we go with that one. Okay, so just so everybody, of course, knows, I'm going to close that out as we do get ready. So, of course, here are the links to the books if you guys want to go check them out. All three are on Fund My Comic, so if you guys want to go check those out. For Alphatron Origins, Voluntarist Suit Saga 2, and Ariana Trench, The Treasure Man's Cave. So there's some stuff to go. So now that we're of course done with that, I wish I didn't close that. I should have kept that open at least for a few more minutes because we're gonna go through real quick and We're going to go through real quick some new wrestling wrap up here. When I look back to last night's AEW, look ahead to tonight's Impact. So on last night's AEW, the show opened up with FTR defeating the Learning Tree of Big Bill and Brian Keith in an opening tag match. Mercedes Moné successfully defended the TBS title against Queen Aminata. In a six-man tag match, the conglomeration of Orange Cassidy, Kyle O'Reilly, and Rocky Romero defeated the Elite of AEW Continental Champion Kazuchika Okada and the AEW World Tag Team Champions, the Young Bucks of Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, via DQ. In his in-ring debut with AEW, Shelton Benjamin defeated Leo Rush. Shelton Benjamin had MVP in his corner. Leo Rush had Layla Gray in his corner. And in the main event, saw Christian Cage defeat Jay White, as Christian Cage had Mother and Nick Wayne in his corner, while Jay White had Colton Gunn and Juice Robinson in his corner. So that's all we got for you on that side of things. Now to look ahead for tonight's Impact. On tonight's Impact, as they continue to march towards next weekend's Bound for Glory event. Brian Myers will be taking on Mike Santana. Brian Myers of the Systems is taking on Mike Santana in Santana's preparation to take on Moose at Bound for Glory. Brian Myers, along with his tag partner Eddie Edward, will be defending the 8 of the TNA World Tag Team titles in a three-way match against the Hardys and ABC. Mike Bailey defends the X Division title against Leon Slater. PCO is set to defend the Digital Media and International Heavyweight title match against Rhino in a no disqualification match. And then Nick Nemeth will be taking on Matt Cardona in a non-title match. So that's all we got for the wrestling wrap-up, as it were. So now, with today being Thursday, October 17th, 2024, let's take a look back at this day in Niche history. History, 94, 99, and 2009. All right, so first off, we're going to head back 30 years ago today. And on this date, 30 years ago today, back in 1994. Back in 1994, the 20th issue of Turok Dinosaur Hunter from Valiant Comics went on sale on newsstands on this date back in 1994. The story was Nest of Snakes, written by Timothy Thurman, penciled by Howard Simpson. It was, of course, the story itself was 21 pages, 32 pages for the whole book. Inked by Charles Yoka, lettered by Adam Nijitsky, and colored by John C. Cebollero. So, on this date, 30 years ago today, 20th issue of Turok Dinosaur Hunter from Valiant Comics went on sale on this date back in 1994. Now, moving ahead to 1999, on this date in 1999, WWE, or at the time WWF, held its No Mercy pay-per-view called its No Mercy pay-per-view from the Gund Arena in Cleveland, Ohio. This is, of course, a few months after Owen Hart's death. The main event saw Triple H retain the WWF Championship over Stone Cold Steve Austin. In a fatal four-way elimination match, X-Pac outlasted Bradshaw, Farouk, and Kane. In a tag team ladder match, the New Brood of Matt and Jeff Hardy defeated Edge and Christian. Let's see. China defeated Jeff Jarrett in a good housekeeping match to win the WWF Intercontinental Champion, becoming the first woman to do so. The Hollies defeated the New Age Hardcore and Crash Holly defeated the New Age Outlaws of Road Dogg Jesse James and B.A. Billy Gunn by DQ. In a match for the WWF Women's Championship, Fabulous Moolah defeated Ivory, essentially, I think, becoming the oldest woman to ever win a major title. She was quite up there at that point. So that happened 25 years ago today. And now getting ready to move on to the next piece of niche history as we wrap things up, moving ahead to 2009, and on this date, 15 years ago today. Group TAC's The Rebirth of Buddha was released was an anime movie based on the new religious movement Happy Science, adapted from a book of the same name. So on this date in 2009, 15 years ago today, The Rebirth of Buddha was released in Japanese theaters on this date back in 2009. So with that, I thank everybody for being here tonight. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. And of course, we'll be back here tomorrow and I'll have Rick Piper on with me as we'll be looking back to, we'll be going back in time, looking back to March books that went on sale in March 1940. Tomorrow we'll be focusing in on Street and Smith, and we'll be looking at the Shadow Comics, Volume 1, Issue 3. So with that, I thank everybody for being here, and I hope to see everybody back here tomorrow. Bye.